Legendary producer Timbaland has officially dropped an AI artist named Tata Taktumi through Stage Zero Entertainment. The song is called Pulse Glitch. I just checked it out, and it kind of reminds me of some of his older stuff with Nelly Furtado. You can actually hear Timbaland's voice. I'm assuming it's him, kind of like these little voice accents in the background. But what's really interesting, when I went to the artist profile and, played the song, she's got 5,948 monthly listeners already with one song. But what's interesting is Timbaland is on the track as a featured artist, but he's not a primary artist feature. So when I click on his name and I go look at singles, I'm not seeing his name pulling up on the single. So he's just a featured artist because he's got 24 million monthly listeners. And if he was a primary artist on the feature, this song and this artist would have a lot more monthly listeners and a lot more streams. And what's interesting as well, too, when I clicked on the view credits on the song, I noticed there's 4 other artists listed: Elise Era, Brandon Avila, Emily Haber, and Zaid Portillo. Now, I did a bit of Google and ChatGPT research, and one of those artists came up as like a Netherlands singer-songwriter. The Creator God might be some pseudonym, and the rest of them all might be like pseudonames, kind of just like hiding under this like mysterious writers thing. But, what's going to happen? Is the game changing? Is this him just kind of dipping his pinky finger in the whole AI world, or are artists completely going to be replaced? I will say I like the fact that he was on the track, like at least his voice. I would have liked to hear even more of him, because is this going to be like replacement, or is this going to be collaboration? Kind of like how we're using AI for album artwork, or we're using AI for video, or, you're using loops or you're using splice, things pre-recorded. But again, those are real artists that have played stuff that get royalties when you use stuff like from splice or not. And so I'm not really a big fan at all of this whole AI generation thing. We'll see where it goes, but obviously the game is changing. And when you have really respectable artists that are like extremely talented, like Timbaland, that are trying stuff and seeing where the game is going, it makes you wonder where we're going to be 4 or 5 years from now. Here's some controversial quotes from Timbaland here, where he's saying, look, I'm not just producing tracks anymore. I'm producing systems, stories, and stars from scratch. Tata is not an avatar. She is not a character. Tata is a living, learning, autonomous music artist built with AI. She's the start of something bigger. She's the first artist of a new generation. A-pop is the next cultural evolution, and Tata is its first icon. Now, if you're not familiar what A-pop stands for, it stands for artificial pop. I can't say I'm a big fan of that name at all, but Timbaland says he launched Stage Zero in June 2025. It's an AI-focused entertainment company co-founded with Rocky Maldura and Zaid Portillo, who was, again, on that track. And Tata is the, first signed AI-generated artist on his label, Stage Zero. I'm just reading here, and this is from page 6, that Timbaland has stated that his use of AI is not to replace humans, but to enhance creativity. I love my independent artists. This doesn't mean I'm not working with real artists anymore. This just means more creativity and for all creators. He also mentioned that, what would normally take him 2 weeks or 3 weeks is taking him 2 days. And when you think about all these tools and Logic and Pro Tools or Cubase or GarageBand or whatever you do, you think about the big boards that we used to have, right? And turning all the knobs and all that stuff. If you're OG, right, and you came from that, and now everything is digital. Or like I remember when we hired an orchestra. Like we hired an orchestra for my song Pray, and we hired all these musicians. Well, what was interesting was when I was working with the producer, he's like, you know what, sometimes we'll hire this all out and that's fine. But then sometimes I'll just use my synth packs or my string packs, and the label or whoever it is, the producer or the artist who's signing off on the thing, they like the packs and the loops that I did as opposed to the people playing live, right? So again, it's a very interesting time of this creation and getting to the end result quicker. And if you look at the way our world is, just with like pressing a button and having food delivered, pressing a button and something shipped or getting done or just creating stuff. We live in this like real microwave world. So it'll be really interesting where we are 4 or 5 years from now. I know I'm still going to be here as an artist making music no matter what. And I want to know if you plan on being here in the next 5 or 10 years no matter what. I'm not crawling in a corner. I'm not backing down on my dreams, and I encourage you not to back down either. Pivot, adapt, keep making music. Because like there's a quote from Hardy who was talking about like those real songs coming from a real human, that soul, that little intonations, and just that vibe. I don't believe an AI can create that. I believe there's just something when someone's hurt or gone through something and you express that in a vocal or a verse on the microphone and you cry and you bleed that. You know, AI can't bleed. AI can't cry.